you doing? Got fun things in your ears. Good morning. So today is one of those days that I figured we'd have this month where we're going to be productive together, because I just feel like there are some things that I need to get done. And I started this morning, you guys would have seen, with a bit of chill time. I woke up this morning a little bit later. I've gotten my schedule a little bit off. So I ended up doing my coffee and my breakfast in bed. And I wanted to journal a little bit. I haven't done that for the past couple of days. And I was just feeling like I needed to, I'd say, reassess my brain, but I'm somebody who believes in manifesting. If you're new to my bubble, or maybe you've been here for a minute, so I think I'm actually going to talk a little bit about manifesting today, but I just haven't really had the clarity to sit in it for the last few days, or at least I haven't really been focused. And something that I try to do regularly, because I am consistently and constantly manifesting things, is to focus on being in the energy of being on the other side of stuff. And it wasn't happening this morning. And there are a few ways that I do that. Sometimes I will go on a tangent. I really kind of have modified the ones from Amanda Francis's Rich AF book. She has one about money in there, and it's written in like chapter, I'll put it on the screen and look it up for you guys. I love that book. I think it's great to have it in both like a digital copy and the audiobook, just because you get different vibes, and sometimes reading something connects differently than hearing it. And don't know how I stumbled upon the money tangent a while ago, but I like to actually write it out. I find that sometimes when I am in the space of like writing it, I can really feel myself a little bit better. And so that was my intention this morning, was to write out the tangents that I needed to. I've modified the one in the book, like I said, for other things in my life. I have them in like a Google Doc copy, and I will sit there and write them. And I did for a bit, and I realized that the one that I was writing, I was like, this just doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel wrong. It doesn't feel bad, but it just energetically felt like a lot of work. So I took a little bit of time to journal this morning, and to I've been really working to be in a place of things feeling with ease, and like being able to attract things this way or that way, and not being in a state of just like work for the sake of work. And so this morning, as I was planning out my day, I had to take a moment to kind of reevaluate how I wanted to do that. So something Grace has talked about in Working Hard or Hardly Working, and I don't know that I actually finished it. She's spoken about it a bit before. I'll link her video for it. It's really just the idea of being the most productive version of yourself. And I will say, I feel like I balance this with also being in a state of flow and allowing myself to be guided. I'm a very intuitive person. Like, that's just what works best for me. And so I find that having both can kind of help me. There are spaces where I need the honesty of knowing how much I'm actually putting on my plate and being really mindful about that. But I like to use her quick ticks, her tasks, her projects kind of element, but I adapt it for me. And I go back and forth with this. I do have a note on my phone for it, but I find that if I haven't been checking things off, sometimes what happens is I just like keep adding things to the list, and I'm not actually acknowledging it. So if I'm feeling really unaware of my time and how much I'm like trying to do in a day, I will write it out, and I will write out quick ticks, and I will write out how long I define a quick tick. So anything that takes 5 to 15 minutes is something that I put in the quick tick category. I have tasks, and that's anything that takes like 45 minutes or less for me. And then mini projects are things that I know that I'm going to touch multiple times to get it done, but I'm not necessarily going to write out every little detail of it, because there's something about it that just, I know that I want to touch on it a little bit every day, and I don't know what that's going to look like. So that was what I did this morning, was I sat down and kind of wrote out my list again, because I knew that if I put things on my phone, I wasn't really going to be conscious with it. I needed to like see the number of things underneath and to really understand what I was doing for the day. So I always have like my ongoing section of stuff that I try to do every day. It's kind of the habit section. So working out, journaling, meditating, water, creatine when I'm drinking it, which I'm trying to be consistent about, going for an afternoon walk. That's something I like to do in the day, but I think walk today is really going to be like walk and work on the treadmill. I think that's kind of where that's going to fit in. I have some quick ticks on there. I need to go through my email. I need to schedule a call with my branding designer because we are redoing the branding for WSS, and then just a mental note on there for myself to figure out what we're filming tomorrow. But like, this is kind of my brain of, okay, these are all the things that I can do, could put on the list. And then I sat down to journal and I just was going through it, and it physically felt differently. Like I could feel where it was just work for the sake of work. So I feel a bit better about that. I can talk about that in like a podcast episode. I've been chatting with a friend about it who's kind of in a space of learning energy and just everything that goes with that side of manifesting, and that's been a journey for me personally, because I've just had to really literally understand it, and it's been a process of like cleaning things around me and putting up boundaries and acknowledging like the ways in which it's, you know, it's not like a physical thing, it's so spiritual and like quiet and gentle, and it can be loud in that way, but like you don't necessarily have the, you know, the like mark on your arm to be like somebody else's energy is tethered to you, even if it is, even if you don't realize you're feeling it. So I've definitely been working on that. That's been a huge thing for me the last few months, and I've seen so much transformation in my own life as I've done that. But today I want to get things done. I want to be productive. So I want to be productive in a way that feels good. I feel like my journaling session this morning really kind of, I was gonna say translate it, but I really like, once I started to write out the tangent, I was like, why does this just not, like, why do I feel resentful in the way that I was energetically aligning with what I was wanting? I was writing it out and could really get in the vibe of it, but the way that I was feeling as though it would have to happen for me to accomplish the thing, I was having a lot of resentful energy for. So I'm manifesting a bigger following for our YouTube platform. I'm manifesting a bigger following on a lot of places because there's some really big content that I want to create. There are things that I want to do. There are stories I want to tell, I think that we need. And I was going through that this morning and I just thought, I feel very resentful about a lot of things. And that's not an energy I want to be in. That doesn't feel good. And that doesn't feel like a way that I could create from it. And like, yeah, I could go down the list of every single thing I could do to accomplish those things. And I had to go sit through this morning and like do my monthly update for numbers, because I like to try to do that, and that's always helpful. Sometimes you just need to like see the physical growth that's happened, and we did have a nice increase with things last month, but I was just like, this doesn't feel the best that it could. Like, this could feel happier, this could feel easier, this could feel lighter. Like, I know energy is such a big thing, and I'm not afraid of hard work. Like, I have no issue with doing hard work, and I'm totally happy to show up and do the things that I need to do. But I'm also like, is this the best way? Like, in the way that I was feeling as though I had to do it, is this the best way that I could do it? Is this the most joyful way I could do it? Is there another way that feels better and happier and lighter and still accomplishes the same goals, or even does it better and faster and bigger? So it was nice to have that breakthrough this morning. That was really good for me, because I was really just, I could feel as though I was writing it. I was like, this, I feel resentful, and that's not an energy I want to be in. And I know that that can be really hard energy to break out of, especially if you feel like you've been marginalized, or if you feel like you've been ignored, or you feel like you haven't been seen. I know that qualifies for a lot of us, whether or not that's because we're bigger, or we're of a different race, different skin tone, different accent, different whatever we have kind of experienced that puts us in a position of feeling like we are not being heard. I'm not going to say that my experience as a white, blonde, blue-eyed woman who is curvy is going to relate anywhere near anybody else's, but there, you know, there's small things that just because I am a woman and I am a thicker woman, naturally put me in a zone to feel like I'm being seen less. So I wanted to kind of go through that and just, I don't want to be in the energy of being resentful, because I do believe that energy is powerful. I do believe that it's a big thing. I also want to be mindful of, you know, society and the ways that we're having conversations and our preconceived biases and everything that's going on, which is a really long tangent for today's vlog. So I hope you guys are gonna get real cozy with me on this one. So now my plan is to do the mom's gift guide. I found so many fun gifts. I love doing these gift guides. It's a lot of fun to just really dig in and find the things. And what happens is I normally continue updating them because I found other stuff. So that's going to be good. I am going to do the Petal and Pup haul. So that is the other thing of this. You guys will have already seen it by now because this video is going to go live after. But I started filming it yesterday, and honestly, it was one of those things where I'd say my energy was bad. I was not in a great mental health phase yesterday about my body and the ways that I've been eating recently and just feeling the best, even though it hasn't really been that bad. I think it's like the body dysmorphia and just other stuff kicking in. Add in my period, I just switched probiotics, and so I was kind of bloated the last few days, and I was trying things on yesterday, and I did a little rant on TikTok about it because I was just like, this doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel good. I don't want to film it for you guys when I'm in that headspace. And I wasn't necessarily loving all the combos I was finding. And sometimes that happens with clothes. It's like, I bought things this time and some of them I'm not necessarily sure when and how I'm going to wear them. I used to really be a person who would buy stuff for the sake of like knowing exactly how I was going to wear it. But now that I create more fashion content, sometimes I'm buying things simply to make sure that I have things on hand to fill the gap. So I might get something and it might not quite be right yet, and I have to like work through that. So it was a whole journey yesterday. I was feeling really frustrated. Nothing was quite right for me. My Goldilocks syndrome was real high. I'm feeling a little bit better. I tried some stuff on last night. I think it's going to be one of those things where I will probably keep more things in this haul than I thought I would. But we're going to have to play with some things, and I'm going to have to give them the space to like be something that gets to work with, that I get to work with. I think that's the biggest thing for me, is I'm at the point now where like, yes, I'm buying stuff and I want to be able to style it for you immediately, but I'm also kind of buying things so that I have things so that when I get other pieces, it fills that gap. Yeah, there's kind of that like in between. So everything might not immediately get used right now, but it's going to serve me. It's going to serve us. Some of the pieces are lovelier than I thought. I'm really obsessed with the jacket that I got. I wasn't sure how I feel about that, but we're gonna have one of those. It's gonna be a long vlog today. I'm gonna give myself permission to have a little bit of a longer vlog because I don't know that I'm gonna have time to film or record podcasts this week. So if you guys are normally listening to my manifesting podcasts, we're chatting in a vlog about it today. But now we're gonna do a gift guide for mom, and I'm gonna put something on that I've already seen before. I really want to watch the finale of Peripheral because I know that that's like finally aired. I totally forgot about it, but the problem is if I watch that or put that on, I won't be able to do the gift guide for mom, and I would like to get that up for you guys today. Also, to do some stuff for Sephora, I've been meaning to email you guys. If you don't know, Sephora is doing like 20% off their gifts, which is really actually a lot of their actual products right now. So if there's something that you wanted to buy, now is a good time to shop. Alright guys, filming is done. Let's grab a to-do list and check some things off. Today has been, it's been a lot. I definitely had a little bit of a breakdown earlier. Alright, I kind of checked emails, but that's not been a full vibe. I did walk on the treadmill a little bit while I did some work. We're going to have to go back out there. I'm almost done with my gift guides for mom posts. I did just film my Petal and Pup haul, so we're going to mark that off. I do need to take this off, shoot some more photos, and then do all the things there. So I'm gonna upload an Instagram photo that goes with this. Flat lay, I need to do a TikTok video, and yeah, I was gonna research stocking stuffers. So we're kind of making progress. I feel like I'm feeling really frustrated, and this vlog is going to be a very deeply personal video. I'm feeling really frustrated with some things, and I think when you're on the manifesting journey, part of the questioning that you go through with anything is, you know, do I have a limiting belief around something? Is there something that I'm not an energetic match for? Is there something that is in my bubble that needs to change in order for this to change? But I'm also, like I said, I'm aware of my existence and my body and the things that are already societally available, and I'm trying to like battle both sides of that. I'm just feeling really frustrated by a lot of stuff. Where I'm at and how long I've been doing this and what's going on and why my content isn't being seen like I want it to be seen, and how I'm making money, and just I'm frustrated with a lot of things, and I kind of had to let that out earlier and ask for guidance with it. So we'll see. I don't know that I'm any better for it. I feel like it's helpful to release it because it doesn't serve me to not acknowledge it. And I can ask for guidance and, you know, figuring out, is this a limiting belief, or is this something that's, you know, actually going on? Like a thing that I need to be aware of exists, because we know that there is fat phobia, and there are people who are simply going to have more followers because of the way that they look. And it has nothing to do with their ability to create and the authenticity behind it, or, you know, there's a lot of things that it has nothing to do with. We know that pretty privilege is a thing, so I'm not saying that I don't have that to some extent. Again, blonde hair, blue eyes, I'm not gonna not acknowledge the privilege that I have. But I do have some frustrations, but I feel a little bit better now that we've filmed Petal and Puff Haul, which will have gone live before this video goes up. I still don't know about this sweater, but it's here. I really like my hair and makeup for today. I will say I bought, in my bougie category, I bought the Clé de Peau Creamy Radiant Foundation. I wanted to test it, and I've kind of felt the same way about the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation, and that it's a little bit too much on its own for me. I don't know that I love like a big heavy coverage. I do really like my makeup today. I'm loving this cold weather blush thing that we've got going on. But I prefer my foundation base, and I will link like the full routine. It's literally less than 60 seconds because I did a TikTok and a short on it down below. But I prefer doing the Flawless filter on my face. So like I will put it on my face and then blend my foundation on top of that, and I don't do them as two separate layers. Like I mark it and then blend them all together, and I find that it's enough that I get the benefits of both. I get the glow and I get like the coverage that I want, but it's not so much that it's too much. Like yesterday's foundation just felt like it was too prevalent on my skin, versus today, like obviously you can see I have foundation on, but it's not settling anywhere. It's not super intense. My blush looks really intense right now, but it kind of makes my under eyes pop. Love the blush. The eye makeup was I started playing and got distracted. Everything is, we're having a hot miss day, guys, but that is okay. So now I'm going to potentially finish watching the last 10 minutes of this episode of Criminal Minds, and then shoot some more things. And I have a leg day to do today. We're gonna do that. I need to do that for my soul. I need to work out today, so we're gonna make that happen. And I'm of the belief if you time lapse something, it just makes you actually do it, and it's more fun. So if you've been struggling to do your workout today, we're gonna both work out. Yeah, we're gonna make it happen. So it is 6:40-ish, and I haven't worked out yet. I do want to go walk on the treadmill a little bit more. My goal is to get myself up at 6 tomorrow. That's really kind of thrown off my schedule. So today we're just trying to get in some light movement, and we're gonna make that work. But I thought I'd show you the books that came in before we check off the final bit of my list. I plan out tomorrow and we kind of move forward. So let's see. I did not take creatine today. That is something we have to get back into the rhythm of. I did buy myself like place a little Instacart order to get some things, just that way I would have a little extra motivation to work out in the morning. So I got a little bit of a coffee creamer. Potentially, I'm not a big energy drink person, but every now and again I will utilize them. So I figured I'd make myself a little coffee, drink that during my workout in the morning, and then I'm trying to start adding in like small hikes at the end of my workout while I build up my just endurance and other cardio health before running. Little things that help me do that without needing to do crazy intense classes. So I've read some things that people have added that to the end of their workouts and it's done major for them. So we're gonna try that tomorrow. But let's see, I went through my email. I'm gonna plan what I'm filming tomorrow. I've been drinking water. We're gonna call the walking that I'm gonna do shortly my workout. I'm waiting on the rest of today's video to upload because I want to take my laptop to that part of the house. The internet's not as great there, so hopefully it'll go up by the time I want it to go up. I think we're gonna be a little bit delayed. You guys are like sliding. It's a whole mood. Maybe if I put you on a different book, that'll work. So mark those things off. I did publish my gift guide for mom. I will link that down below. I've uploaded my TikTok for the day. I can mark that off. I am prepared to upload my Instagram, but that's gonna depend on if this video goes live, y'all. This is about to drive me bananas. There we go, you're on the desk now. We're just gonna look up. It's gonna be a whole moment. I did get ready for the day. I did edit for the day. I'm filming you for the day. We're still a video behind. That is okay. I'm gonna work on the stocking stuffers particular potential post while I'm on the treadmill. So that'll be there, and I'm gonna double check my gifts under 50. So that'll be pretty much everything that I really wanted to do for the day. So I did get my other books in the mail from Book of the Month, and I also got all of my like color pens and Sharpies. We have a Christmas project to do together. When things come in, it's just not everything's here yet, so that's kind of an issue. But once that comes in, we have Christmassy things to do together, guys, I promise. But I mentioned this in my Christmassy books yesterday. So I ordered 3 books from Book of the Month this month. One of them was my normal credit. The second one is the Book of the Year, like, or every year they do the award for whatever like the Book of the Year is for Book of the Month. Everybody gets to vote, and if you've had like 12 months of consistent membership, I think put you in the BFF category, and that means that you get the book free. So you pay, I think it's around $15 a month. I think it ends up being like $17 with taxes, and sometimes I don't read them all, sometimes I do. I'm not quite in a headspace to read this, but I've seen great reviews of it, and this is the book that won this year, so I went ahead and picked it up because the other ones that I saw in the category I either already owned or didn't feel like I wanted to do yet. So I grabbed this. Part of me feels like this has already been optioned by somebody to produce because content is consistent like that, but you know. And then I mentioned this one in yesterday's vlog, and it's Kiss Her Once for Me. It is a little LGBTQ Christmas love story. I will link my Christmas bookshop in the description box below. And then because we love a seasonal read, I did get this one for New Year's Eve. So we'll read that into the new year once I finish all the Christmas ones. But I pulled out my camera before I sign off for the day to show you this. I saw this on TikTok, story of my life, and somebody had it with the like scanner, because you know, like when you're a kid, it's really fun to like scan things and play grocery store. So there's essentially this app, you can like you can buy like a scanner and do USB and do it with your computer. I do it with my phone just because that's quite easy. And it's a great way to keep like digital track of your collections. We are big DVD people in this household. I love a hard copy of DVDs and books. I'm down for all the digital copies, but with TV and movies, I really like to have just a hard copy of things that I love. That way I don't have to worry about the internet streaming if things are being funny. I also just really like to have access to stuff and not have to worry about when things change rights for stuff, or I've bought things on digital platforms and then they've completely refunded it like 5 years later and I no longer have access to it. I think there was a good year where I was trying to figure out who had 90210 and where the heck I could watch it because some of the seasons were gone. So it's a whole experience. But with this, you can go in, let's see. I really need to like go through and scan in all my movies so we don't buy things, but I'm gonna go in and scan the new books, and sometimes they won't scan, like you might have to manually add them depending on how popular they are. So let's see. Well, not even depending on how popular they are. I think sometimes just the code's not the same. So sometimes that happens with Book of the Month, but I like to scan new books in just so I know. So like no info is found with this one. Let's see if it's just that book or if it's a different book. we're not scanning Book of the Month having a moment, but I do like to scan them. That way I just know, like, if I'm ever like, oh, I wonder if I have a copy of this, I easily have access wherever I am. It's in my little library. I have not scanned everything yet. Eventually I will, and the app for this is called Libib. I will link that. I will put that name down below and on the screen so you know what I'm talking about. But it's a great way to keep track of stuff if you are somebody who likes to read a lot, likes to have a lot of books, and really kind of doesn't ever remember if you bought something. It's perfect for that, especially for my hardback readers. So yeah, but that is all I have for you guys today. So thank you for keeping me company. It's been not a day that I planned on vlogging, but I feel like it's a great day to have some kind of raw, just realism here. So I think tomorrow we might do a little self-portrait shooting. That's been on my mind and I haven't done it yet. And I bought a new screen for that. So we're going to try that. We're going to get experimental. And then of course we will do things that are difficult styling. I'm sure there's some other things that'll come to mind, but right now I think the self-portrait thing is going to be the first thing that we shoot. So let me know in the comments below. My Petal and Pup haul will already online, so you can either comment there or comment here. If there's anything specific in the things that are difficult to challenge that you would like to see me style, or if there's anything specific that you are just on the hunt for, would love to see styled, kind of curious about, let me know in the comments below. I'm happy to do that for us for this time of the year. I am posting more holiday gift guides on the blog, so if you're shopping for anything, that's going there. And I also mentioned this earlier, but I'm not sure on all the platforms that I mentioned, the Sephora has 20% off for now until December 12th for what they consider gifts. Now that is actually a ton of things. It's not actually just gifts. So there's a lot of stuff that they have in the gift category. The new Hourglass palettes, a lot of the stuff that's been on my like general list, you get 20% off of, and you don't have to have any type of exclusive membership. It is just something that they are running right now. I saw an ad on TV and I was like, wait, hold up, let me check that. So I will link my Sephora blog post down below for all of the things that I love from that. And then I'm potentially going to do an email roundup of just the stuff that's in my cart. So make sure you subscribe to the newsletter for that. But yeah, that is all I have for you today. We're going to make another to-do list because I love a list. I'm going to get really concentrated. I'm going to meditate. And I'm going to walk a little bit more so that I'm like ready and chill for bed. But we survived the day, and sometimes that's the best thing we can do. So I love you. It is a good day to have a good day. If you aren't already subscribed, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys for watching. I love you. And I will see you all tomorrow for another day of Vlogmas.